Once, during a real estate seminar I was conducting in Dallas, Texas, I was approached by a gentleman around 60 years old. He had heard me mention that my rich dad taught me to invest in real estate by playing Monopoly. That game, as we know, reveals a simple yet powerful strategy: buy 4 green houses and trade them for a red hotel. With a curious glint, the man came over and asked, "Do you think I should turn my houses into hotels?" I smiled and asked how many properties he owned. After a moment's thought, he replied, "A little over 700. I invited him to sit down so I could learn more about his story, and soon discovered he was a farmer from West Texas. Over the past 40 years, he had bought multiple houses each year to rent out. This man had weathered the highs and lows of the oil and cattle industries in Texas, especially during times of crisis. In those periods, he bought houses from people in financial distress, sometimes even renting them back to the former owners. As his cash flow grew, he invested in more properties, typically costing less than $65,000 each, and he never sold any of them. By then, he was earning an average of $200 in cash flow per month per house. Despite my experience in investing, I was impressed and amazed. This man was making over $145,000 per month, exceeding $1 million annually just from his rental income. He then asked me, should I start selling some of my houses and buy hotels? Buying these little green houses takes a lot of time, and the idea of investing in larger buildings sounds appealing. I laughed and shook my head. I told him that at the next seminar, I'd like him to be the speaker and me the listener. I then gave him my financial advisor's contact information and suggested he speak with them. I added that he was already on a level far beyond mine. As he thanked me, I remembered 40 years back when my rich dad played Monopoly with me. The difference is, at that time I was using little green plastic houses, but this man was playing the game with real houses. It was an absolutely extraordinary experience. According to statistics from the United States Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, by age 65, only 1 in every 100 people is very wealthy. 4 are financially secure, 5 still need to work out of necessity, 54 rely on help from family or the government, and 36 have already passed away. I believe one reason so few people achieve great wealth is the inability to change when necessary. Many people want to change, but are paralyzed by fear and doubt, thinking, what if the market crashes? What if I make a mistake? What if I can't pay the debt? The truth is, many people become prisoners of their own uncertainties. Nowadays, there are young people making millions of dollars online without even finishing their studies. These young people have never had a job and may never need one. Whenever you owe money to someone, you become employed by that money. For example, if you take out a 30-year loan, you automatically become an employee of that commitment for those 30 years. When my rich dad borrowed money, he did everything possible not to be the one repaying the loans. This was the key lesson he taught to me and his son Mike. Good debt is the kind that someone else pays for you, while bad debt is what you have to pay yourself. He liked investing in rental properties because, when he took a loan from the bank, it was the tenant who covered the financing, a true genius in the world of investments. Imagine you find a nice house for sale in a decent neighborhood. The house needs some repairs, but it's surrounded by other well-maintained buildings. The area is safe and located near a local public university. The owner wants to retire and move to a warmer, quieter place and is asking $110,000 for the house. You negotiate a bit and settle on a price of $100,000. You have $10,000 saved in your bank account, so you'd need financing for the remaining $90,000, but you decide to take out a loan for $100,000. With the additional $10,000, you can cover closing costs and the necessary repair expenses. Since you don't have other assets to use as collateral, the bank would typically deny the loan, but since the property itself is the collateral, the bank is more willing to finance it as they're in the business of lending with some security in place. The bank approves a 30-year mortgage at a 6% interest rate. They require the $10,000 as a down payment which you provide. Including taxes and other costs, your monthly mortgage payment will be around $700. However, if you've been paying attention, you know it doesn't make sense to become employed by this loan for the next 30 years. The best strategy is to have someone else pay your debt. My rich dad suggested that right after closing the deal and becoming the property owner, you contact the local university and let them know you have a house available for rent. Let's say you decide to charge $1,000 in rent per month. If the house has 4 bedrooms, you can easily rent to 4 students, each paying $250 per month, a rate affordable even for students on a tight budget. The good news is that my rental property generates $1,000 per month, while my mortgage payment is only $700. This means I have a net income of $300 monthly. This profit is what we call passive income. I don't need to work to receive it. My tenants are the ones paying off the 30-year mortgage, and the best part is that I still earn an extra $300 every month. Interesting, right? I invested only $10,000 and already have a monthly return, plus I own the property. It's not that complicated. Anyone can do it, as long as they don't let fear take over. Reflecting on this story and the farmer's example, we see a powerful real estate investment strategy. This farmer bought many houses over the years and rented them out, generating significant cash flow. The key to his strategy was using bank financing to acquire the properties while the tenants covered the mortgage with their monthly rent. This allowed him to accumulate many properties and build substantial passive income. This example highlights the importance of thinking big and using strategies that increase cash flow and minimize personal effort. By turning houses into rental properties, he was able to multiply his earnings and build a profitable property portfolio. So far, everything seems perfect, almost like a fairy tale. But is there any risk involved? It's essential to remember that real estate investing comes with risks, and careful analysis is required before adopting any strategy. If someone decides to follow this investment model, they face risks such as market risk. Property values can fluctuate with changes in the real estate market. If prices drop, you may find yourself in a situation where the property's value is less than the mortgage balance. In other words, an underwater property. This makes selling difficult and could lead to losses if you need to sell. Interest rate risk. If you have an adjustable rate mortgage, changes in interest rates can affect your monthly payments. A rate increase could make mortgage payments more expensive, reducing the investment's profitability. Maintenance and repair risk. As a property owner, you are responsible for the upkeep and repair of the property. Unexpected repair costs can reduce profits and affect the investment's return. Tenant default risk. There's always a chance that tenants may stop paying rent, which could jeopardize mortgage payments and other expenses. Additionally, the eviction process can be costly and time-consuming. If you enjoyed today's video, remember that this channel is here to bring you more financial content. If you found this information useful, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.